Hey there, everybody, and welcome to Offstage OnScreen, your one-stop shop for all things big-time movies. We got your reviews for you today of The Brutalist, starring Adrian Brody. We're going to watch the trailer, and then we're going to hear from our resident movie review expert, Robert Nelson. Let's get into the trailer, The Brutalist.
There's him. He's alive. What?
Emotional. 7 Golden Globe nominations.
These are yours, yes?
Yes.
All of them?
Yes.
Tell me, why is an accomplished foreign architect shoveling coal here in Philadelphia?
I'm afraid it is not so simple.
American masterpiece.
There was
Instant
a
classic,
war,
says Rolling Stone.
And yet, many of the sites of my projects had survived. My buildings were devised to endure such erosion of shoreline.
What's his name?
I brought you all out here to join me in looking forward toward the future.
What do you think?
It's unusual, even for you.
Your English is impressive.
I like biopics.
Perhaps you can help your husband sound less like he shines shoes for a wage. I'm sorry, will you please pass that back?
They do not want us here.
Who do you mean?
The people here, they do not want us here.
Monumental Symphony, says Bob. Looks good. The trailer makes it look good. Well lit, an astonishing excavation, Bob.
When dogs get sick, they often bite the hand of those who fed them. Until
Drama.
someone mercifully puts them down.
Brody gives a towering performance. Guy Pearce, there it is, Guy Pearce. Thank you. The cinematic event of the year? Where have I been?
I promise.
Okay, there it is, The Brutalist. And here's our resident movie reviewer, Robert Nelson. Welcome, Robert.
Thank you for having me, as usual.
Thank you for talking us through The Brutalist. I like the trailer.
Yeah, the trailer is kind of typical. It
It's
feels
doing its-
Oscar-y.
Yeah.
Um,
It's got some weight behind it. They're selling it as a what do they call that kind of movie? A high
kind of a awards. Movie
yeah, like a
type
high
of-
marker movie. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the first thing we ought to talk about, which is like what everybody has been talking about, is the running time, 215 minutes, which is 3.5, almost 4 hours.
Right.
That
does sound brutal.
Good one.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't think it's needed to have an intermission. It has an intermission.
Right.
I believe it's an intermission everywhere where it was shown.
Right.
It'll be interesting on the Blu-ray if they have an intermission on the actual physical media.
Right. They're going old school with that. That's like Dr. Zhivago, Gone with the Wind style to epic. They're trying to go epic with this film, in other words, right?
Yeah. But the thing is, okay, so you have a 215-minute running time, which is, I think it doesn't really matter. It's fine, but I don't think this film is needing to be that long. But with the intermission, it's okay to have. You kind of go back after the 15-minute break, kind of wanting to see how the whole thing wraps up and ends. So it isn't like, oh gosh,
Yeah,
now
if you're
I'm gonna
invested.
yeah. So you are invested. It's a well-made movie. In
Is it
my
a
opinion.
biopic? Is it about a true person?
No, I don't think so.
Hungarian Jew, Laszlo Burin?
Right.
Harrison. So it's
This is
What's
The
it
thing
based
is,
on? I thought it was a biopic at first, so I was really fascinated.
no,
But now I'm
no,
looking at it, I'm
I
thinking
don't. I should have known this, but I don't think it is
Laszlo
actually.
Toth.
Right. You got it there?
Well, I'm looking at the storyline. And
Right.
Erzsébet flee Europe to rebuild their legacy.
Uh-huh.
I'll have to look it up. Go
Okay.
ahead. So you tell me.
Anyway, so no, they sell it a little bit as, if you remember, Adrian Brody, who stars in this movie, about 20 years ago was in The Pianist.
Yeah, of course. He's
Right, which he
another
won the Oscar
foreigner.
for, and
Yeah, that's when we first were introduced to Adrian Brody, really. And
yeah,
for the
exactly.
most
I
part,
kind of saw him first there, I believe,
I
and
think we
that's
all
a
did.
Roman
Yeah.
Polanski movie, and
Beautiful film. I don't know. It's one of those films I can't watch more than once because it's so
yeah, it's kind of
heavy.
Schindler's List type of movie, and very emotional. And so when I saw this trailer, I was like, so here we go again. So he's going to do this Second World War, Jewish
Yeah.
kind of character again, Oscar nominated sort of
Foreign.
performance thing.
Yep.
And I have to say, he's brilliant in it. He's really, really good. And
Looks
and
good.
and another guy who's good is Guy Pearce. He's
Yeah.
excellent in it. So those two are just, the performances are amazing.
Right.
But then you have like the production design and the directing and just the visual style of the film, which is very gray and dull. If you think about like what this movie is about, it's about architecture. Do you want to sit down for 4 hours and watch a movie about an architect?
I'll tell you what I see here now. So The Brutalist is not based on a true story or a book, but it draws heavily from real history, and it's inspired by post-war immigration and the rise of brutalist architecture. The movie depicts the main character as an architect. The real-life Laszlo Toth, on whom the story is loosely based, is a geologist, actually.
Wow, so they changed, right.
So they changed quite a bit here just to get this story out of something, but I mean, I am a fan of architecture. I studied architecture when I was a young man. I was on that track for a little while.
Well, there you go. This might be a movie for you then.
So yeah, maybe. And I like great acting, but I prefer it when the movie is actually built around a true story. I don't like loosely based.
Right.
Because I get invested, and then you go, oh man, that's a great story, and then you go, yeah, but it's all just made up. Unless it's Jurassic Park, and then I go, that's cool, yeah, take me there,
Yeah.
a dinosaur-filled monster island. I'm all in.
Yeah.
But if you're going to introduce a character and talk about World War II and all these kind of actual events, but then just create fake, I don't know. It's hard for me to get into.
I think if you go into this film not quite knowing what it is, which I went and I saw it a bit later than it was released, for maybe 3 weeks before I saw it. And I heard just, the whole nomination thing and Adrian Brody, and this is a must see. It's a 4-hour movie, blah, 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 but it's amazing. So I was like, okay, I need to check this out. And you think it's going to be kind of like a Pianist kind of thing, a Holocaust-ish movie, but it isn't. It's about architecture and the whole world about, buildings and rooms and stuff. And that's very limited in terms of becoming interesting for the mass audiences.
Yeah. I mean, I love the book, The Fountainhead, although Ayn Rand is contentious, but and there's an old movie, The Fountainhead, and that's about an architect and his drive. But and the kind of the idea that these buildings, they last forever, and and there's different forms. You just slap something up, or you create something that's just a monument to humanity and all this kind of stuff, and stands the test of time and makes changes, the way we feel in terms of our society.
Yeah.
So some of that's kind of interesting to me, but I see what you're saying. Like, you can do a movie. I mean, you can make an interesting movie about oil rigs, or they made a movie about firefighters and stuff. It may not be something you're into, but if there's drama there and there's some intrigue, I guess.
But there is, in firefighters and stuff and police, there's more action that can be more of an eye candy kind of thing.
Yeah.
Architecture
and
is
death.
quite static.
Yeah, nobody's dying because
Yeah, but they
Lives aren't
do
over.
it interesting. I mean, it's about the characters, and it's about this character Laszlo, and he's coming from Second World War Europe, where he had to leave his wife behind, and he hasn't seen them for years, and he comes to America and gets a chance. He's discovered by this rich guy that's played by Guy Pearce, who sees some drawings that he's done, and he invites him and says, "Is this?" It's in the trailer,
Yeah.
Did you do this? And he says, "Yeah, these are all mine. It's a long lost dream that I had long ago that's now completely ruined because of the war."
Right.
And he gives him the chance, like, I need to renovate my house. I need to build this empire of shopping centers, and I want you to design them. Kind of, that's, and he gives him a new chance, and he becomes like obsessed because he loves architecture and drawing and building. And he becomes so obsessed with this that he shuts everything out, and
Right.
even he meets his family that hasn't seen for years. They come finally over. I don't want to give too much away, but he puts a wall, in front of them because he needs to frickin' finish this
Right, I see.
monumental task he's been given, and he just cares about that.
So let me ask you this, Robert. What's the movie about? Or is it just because it's not about the Holocaust, it's not about World War II, it's not really about architecture, it's about a man's struggle? I mean, is it two men?
It's about
compelling between
it kind of thing is like
the powerful and the creative, or
I feel like the war thing isn't necessary. It could be just like a
just
guy
background.
that was good and started drinking, and then somebody found him in a
it's background
garbage bag and gave him a second chance.
Yeah.
So what is it about? I don't know. It's fulfilling your dreams and becoming dangerously obsessed with something that can become a dangerous, passion for something that takes over your whole life. Yet you are a genius at the end.
It almost seems like Ayn Randian in a sense, because the Fountainhead is a perfect example, really, because that was an architect that was very easy. In short, he's super talented, but he's not given the chances to build great buildings, and the limited chances he is given, he builds great stuff. But it's the power structure that provides opportunities like that to creatives. That's what the story is really centered around. It's not a meritocracy. The world is not a meritocracy. So those who are less qualified, less talented, end up getting opportunities.
Yeah.
This seems like maybe there's some struggle between the Guy Pearce character and the Adrian Brody character, where he's working for the man.
Yeah.
Is there anything in there?
There is a lot of drama. He becomes, very drawn to this guy who's given him this chance. And then there's I don't want to give it away. There's a twist, which is kind of unexpected and uncomfortable.
Okay.
Which puts another sort of dramatic spin to it, towards the sort of end of the whole thing. But
I can imagine.
That's all I say. I feel like the whole film is like it's good acting, very good acting,
and a good story ultimately. Yeah.
Well, it's a limited, interesting story, which is just surviving the running time and the content of what it's about. Just barely, makes it, and it's ultimately kind of a hollow movie.
Okay.
So I sort of like, it's a movie I would never see again, but I'm happy I saw it. Let's put it that way.
Right.
I do recommend it if you want to see good acting and a long kind of drama about something, about obsession, and then I could recommend it. But if you just want to,
if you're into 19th century German Bauhaus architecture, then
yeah, that's the movie for you.
Finally.
Yeah, don't expect Pianist and Schindler's List, which is sort of, I think a lot of people did expect when they went to see this. And so they ultimately were maybe a little bit disappointed.
Yeah, I think there's some undertone here that's happening between Protestant religious and the wealthy upper white classes, let's say the Anglo-Saxon WASP classes of America, taking the Jew and exploiting maybe something, emotionally exploiting and other things. The predatory nature of this Van Buren character and stuff. There's it seems to be, I don't know, I'm guessing, but there seems to be some kind of undertone here at play. It's not so much about the actual story. It's not a real story, but it's more of a commentary on sort of socioeconomic religious classes in America in the 1900s and maybe even today. Somebody's trying to send a message here, basically.
It also takes place, from the late 40s to all the way up to, I think, the early 80s. So it has a span.
Has a trajectory, yeah. I just think it's got to be a metaphor for something, but what that is
that might be a little bit too deep for our discussion here.
Yeah, I think probably around creatives and those that exploit the creatives, which I feel exploited all the time for my talents. Yeah.
All right.
But I won't get into that stuff.
Okay.
Someday they'll make a movie about me.
Yeah, Todd Kramer, the movie.
Movie.
I'd go see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
It's 16 hours long. With no intermission.
No intermission. All right.
So is this thing going to win any? I got some Golden Globes. Is it winning awards? Is it going to get the Oscars? Did it get the Oscars?
It's certainly nominated for a bunch of awards here and there. It's not maybe winning all of it, but certainly
it's on that trajectory, right?
Yeah. The music is very unique as well. I have to give it a
good. Okay.
A very quirky music, but it somehow just fits the weirdness of the film. So I like the music to it.
Who's the director? Brady Corbett.
Corbett. I can't comment more on the director.
Funny Games, The Brutalist, Mysterious Skin, Melancholia, Never, Yellow Bird. Don't recognize any. Oh, Escobar, Paradise Lost. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And that's old, but he's been around for at least a decade doing stuff. So he might be a director to keep an eye on.
Yeah, sure.
Brady Corbett. Looks interesting. Kind of young guy. Born in 1988. So.
Wow.
Yeah. Interesting.
Life is not fair, man.
Yeah, that's who's making movies now. We just talk about him.
Yeah.
Okay, so go see The Brutalist for all the reasons we've explained. It gets a lot of high ratings. It's a good movie. It's a proper movie, right? I mean, it's
sure.
It hits the mark. And
it's not a movie for everyone, though.
Not for everyone, but if you're a fan of great movies or good
Absolutely.
Performance, good actors, good story, you'll find something in it. And I think we'll probably be seeing and hearing more about it as we get into awards season, right?
For sure.
All right, good enough. The Brutalist. Robert,
all right.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you.
Yes, and we shall see you all next time on Offstage on Screen. All your movie reviews and more, talking about the movies all the time, every time, here on Offstage on Screen.